off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
Here we go. Henry, check. Hey. Say. Yeah.
First carry for the ex-Utah State Aggie, Darwin Thompson. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Let him go by a little too easily there.
Well, that's what we saw on film, isn't it? His head goes down oftentimes when he goes to punch, when he's trying to block. And when you do that, you can't see your target. He went right past him and made the play.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On 2nd and 12, Jackson, and that is incomplete.
I will see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
12 yards to go.
Three and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Here's Jackson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fielded just inside the 20. "12 yards on the return that time. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10.
At their own 30-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Squeeze.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. There to make the tackle, Samson Abuka.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Recon, 152 fighter. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. 41 Mike, echo. 41 Mike, hit it.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Blackburn, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Come on, set. 18 Gator. Rep. Hey, alert 3. Go on. Hey, high 7.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Hey, Delta.
They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Samson Abukum with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. Fielded at about the 28. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning. And nothing but daylight ahead. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. 55 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. A long way to go in this one. I'm sure that's not the only score we'll see today, but to jump out like that, very good.
Yeah, everyone wants to set the pace. You know, in a game like this, you want people chasing you. You don't want to be the team chasing them. That's exactly what they did.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 30-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Focus, defense, focus. Go. Banjo, 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 banjo. 41's coming. Hey, Haywood. Here we go.
First carry for Nick Chubb. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Check. Check hot. Kill. Leo. Get it.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He's going to wind up in air into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Troy Apke, and his crew will take over with the football at the 35-yard line.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back, and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Tight on the right. We got 4.
Jackson from the shotgun. They'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Looked like some hands both ways. They got it on the offense.
Sometimes there's a fine line between being the receiver and the DB, and he knocked that one away. Might have caused an incompletion that could have been an interception.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
3 down.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Not that time for Watkins, and it's 3rd down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Jackson, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns.
Did I just see what I thought I saw? Did I just see what I thought? That had to be. Come on, say it for me. Say it for me. Who picked up that pass?
A free safety.
Oh, you got to have those great skills back there. Eyes, anticipation, great hands. And, of course, how about the fluid moves afterwards to take it all the way to the house?
Sounds like you're watching your old game film up here in your head.
Yeah, that's the dream I had of being that player. I just never was.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Back to the air, Jackson following the pick six. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Jackson throwing again. That ball complete to Isabella. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. So finally completes his first pass. Credit the defense, though. They've been showing him some different looks, keeping him off balance.
Yeah, I like the observation that you had there, because when you give him different looks and give any quarterback different looks, it takes just a little bit longer to process sometimes, and you don't throw the ball with the same confidence. You're not sure that that's where you should go with the football, and that's worked for the defense early in this game, and now he's got his first completion. Let's see if his confidence comes back, and he starts to get into a nice little groove.
And 12 yards that time and picking up the first. Jackson on 1st down. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. These two teams all tied after 1. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 41. Throwing is Jackson. He's got it complete to Thompson. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Jackson. This one caught by Isabella. He'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Andy Isabella, 32 yards. And his guys have taken the lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they're going to stop him short of the 20 with a penalty flag down. Now what's the call here? The officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask certainly helps things as they'll start up past the 30 on 1st down. They run with Hunt. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking deep for his tight end, Ertz. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
He's crashing. He's checking. Hey, lock it. 5. Go. Motion to backfield. Motion to the backfield. Ready?
From the gun, Blackburn. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Now Jackson. And this is caught by Watkins. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
This quarterback now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Thompson. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's second and 3.
Here we go.
Here's Jackson to throw. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 39.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 39-yard line.
Check 24. Check 22. Check cover. 22. Check cover. Check 99. Check 99.
They run it here with Thompson. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. The tackle made by the linebacker, Joe Schobert.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend.
He wasn't ready.
We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend.
Rush in. Rush in. Let's go.
On second down now, it's Thompson. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Let's go, D. 4 quarters of Mike.
3rd and 2, here's Jackson. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's back, and he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. Throwing again, Jackson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Two incompletions haven't moved him any closer. And likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. Jackson will throw again. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Sanders' kick is good, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Browns drive about to get started. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you've got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
Exit. 41 to Mike. 41 to Mike. Check 41. Let's go.
To throw on 2nd down. Blackburn trying to lay one up deep. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And these guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will do it for this first half. So it's on to halftime in this AFC divisional round matchup. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these team special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. First throw now for the backup Allen. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
On third and long, it's Allen. This is the tight end, Njoku. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett able to get him for a loss of about 3. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
Another try after the first down sack. Jackson wide open as Watkins. He's got him. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 15 yards on the play. First down.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the second foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Watch twins. Watch go.
They run with Thompson. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds.
We want it.
From the 38, Jackson, his throw incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
This defense can use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, Jackson. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Browns drive about to get started. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And again, it's Chubb. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
On 1st down, it's Hunt. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
What we got?
And now they'll throw with Allen. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Carl Lawson. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Allen now looks to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
Here's Jamie Gillen now, standing just outside his own goal line. Flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. Now a give right side. It's Thompson. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Joe Schobert on the tackle. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go. Henry. All you get is a headache. Check out, Reed. Check it out.
Again, a run with Thompson. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
Ready? 2, 91.
On 3rd down, it's Thompson. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A gain of 13 and also a 1st down. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Man, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, they want to ride him down the stretch. He should have fresh legs.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 17-yard line.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
Single. I got number 1.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. He's got it. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Andy Isabella, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the number 1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. Here's Jackson. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Browns drive about to get started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
No gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Blackburn. He's going to go for a big play. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. He's picked off near his own 48. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Here we go. Strong right.
After the interception, here's Jackson. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you could put yourself in jeopardy.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. This is caught. Watkins. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Sammy Watkins, 27 yards. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. To throw again. Blackburn nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jerome Baker just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. From the gun on 3rd down. Blackburn. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. So stuffed from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. They'll turn to Thompson, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
Yeah, they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Browns drive about to get started. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Allen to throw it. And an alley to run. And it's a touchdown. A That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead will swell by one more. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
At their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this? And he can't escape, and down he goes. Carl Lawson picks up his second sack of the afternoon. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20. Call it a 3-yard gain, but they'll be forced into a 3rd and 15 coming up. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
This is taken at the 23. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt.
At their own 30-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. They were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL.
Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Check 25. Slam. Now.
Throwing on first down. Blackburn, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the defense will get their hands on it, going the other way. And he will bring it back to the 4-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Switch it, switch it, switch it. Roll out. Get it.
Throwing again. Blackburn. He's going to let it fly. It got his man complete. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's what I'm talking about.
And they're moving on to the conference championship. How about this?
What a tremendous feeling to get to the game that can get you to the Super Bowl. A fantastic season. Unfortunately, for the other team, a tough, tough way for it to end.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. So long, everybody.
just wanna be her. From your mom to your pop to the beat to the birds, man. Skirt right off on the curb like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my home team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like blah. Yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like what? And it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like what? Whole squad like and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah. like that. It's a lot of money, why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. I cop a car, I run it back. Go on your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello? That's the jag calling. Let me click over real quick to let my jag talk it. I eat it, ooh, Pac-Man. That's the way my neck talking. I ain't never coming back the way the stress. You don't make no clap back when you backpack, my bad. But I'm past that with a NASDAQ. That's cash when the money fall, I'ma slap that. Clap when the money go, you don't slap. That's facts. If the money low, I'ma grab brown man. When it come back, I'ma give back my bad. When the check hit, the direct hit. I'm glad when the check missed the direct hit. I'm sad like, who's that knocking at my window? They say that it's the money, I'm like tenfold. Over and out. That's gon' make you up like a limbo. She said she not a, she an. Why you do that like that? It's a lot of money, why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. I cop a car, I run it back. Go on your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back.
Time flies, have so many friends, go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every Y'all niggas need one? Hmm. Y'all niggas need one?